So Congress today approved a $510 million deal to keep supplying Israel with money so they can purchase arms for the U.S. in order to resupply their ordnance that they disposed of, presumably in Iran and the war in Gaza. So they're probably going to use this to resupply their Iron Dome and their air defense systems and missiles that they essentially, again, used, right, in these conflicts that have been occurring in the past couple of weeks, and when it comes to Gaza, years now, right? So a lot of you are asking out there, well, why? Why does, the U.S. always give Israel a blank check? Why do they always support? Again, if you're on the left, you're going to say a terrorist regime or the Zionist regime, and if you're on the right, you're going to say, well, why are we supporting, an ally, but always give them a blank check, and they're dragging us into these conflicts that, for the most part, from what I'm seeing from the American public, no one wants to be dragged into, right? Both left and right. So again, I'm not an expert. I'm just an enthusiast of geopolitics and history. So this is strictly my opinion based on things I've read. I encourage you all out there to go do your research, but I'm going to give it my best shot at giving you an analysis as to why this always is, regardless if it's left or right or what side of the aisle these Congress men and women are sitting on. And the reason is very simple. Number one, Israel is essentially an extension of American power in the Middle East, right? They're their power broker there. And it's what they're doing is by resupplying Israel, they're signaling Tehran and letting them know that if you guys try any funny business, by the way, we're resupplying your enemies right now. So that's number one. It sets a precedence. Number two, they're also letting know the potential enemies around the region. So, for example, Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza. Right now, even though they took the sanctions off Syria, Ahmed al-Shara, they're letting them know, they're putting them on notice as well, right? That Israel has, or we want Israel to have hegemony in the region, control in the region, because they're looking after our interests, even though sometimes I believe there's misaligned incentives with American interests and Israeli interests, but that's a separate topic altogether. So that's the main reason, right? And it's allowing, again, Tehran, right, and the BRIC nations, so Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, these are nations that want to challenge U.S. global hegemony by establishing a parallel financial system, essentially, right, and getting enough nations in to fight the U.S., if you will, economically by the sanctions they impose on some of these nations. So it's sending a signal from a geopolitical standpoint. Now, here at home, domestically, the reason is simple, right? A lot of these congressmen and women, right, their constituents in their districts that they run, a lot of them work in the military-industrial complex or the arms industry, if you will, right? People work for Raytheon, Northrop Grumman, Honeywell Aerospace, General Dynamics. This is the military-industrial complex. But again, these companies alone, they subsidize smaller arms company, munitions factories and so forth, components manufacturers. Imagine for ammunition, you need brass coil, you need primers, you need gunpowder. If you're making, again, rockets and defense systems, you need aerospace companies. So all these companies, right, they get brand new contracts to sell armament to Israel and to American allies and to whoever they want to sell. So they renew these contracts every year. It keeps business afloat. It keeps the revenue coming in. And of course, every quarter they're making more and more. Again, welcome to capitalism, right, from that sense. So these congressmen in their districts, they look like the national security guy, right? Oh, we're on for national security. I want to spend more on defense. Well, that's how they, justify spending more on defense with their voters. And again, a lot of their voter base, if they work in these industries, it incentivizes them, to keep these operations, if you will, going. So that's my breakdown as to why, again, the U.S. always, if you will, helps Israel no matter what the cost. There's a much larger geopolitical game being played here, and it ties into the other power brokers in the world. So that's my opinion on this. if you guys have a different perspective, a different view, please drop a comment and share below. I'm interested to know what anyone out there has to say about this.